This $80 sleeping bag from the North Face is the cheapest sleeping bag that I have found that actually does kind of work for backpacking and camping. This is the Zenbivy Ultralight bed. This costs a grand total of $1,100. And my goodness, is it spectacular. Cozy. If you've ever had a hard time sleeping when you're backpacking or car camping, well, there's a good chance that the gear that you're using is actually holding you back. And so today I have the most basic budget options that are out there, as well as a backcountry bed fit for a king, and pretty much everything in between. So we're not only going to be diving through sleeping bags, but the mattresses and the padding beneath you that makes, honestly, maybe the biggest overlooked difference in all of backpacking. Okay, this sleeping bag is perfectly suitable, basic sleeping bag. Synthetic fill, 20-degree Fahrenheit warmth rating, which means that if it's actually 20 degrees out, I'm not going to be happy. I'm probably going to be actually very uncomfortable, but it will keep me alive. The temperature rating that I'll probably be comfortable at in the sleeping bag is about 35, 40 degrees, depending on the mattress that I'm pairing it with. This is a closed cell foam mattress that I actually picked up for $22 from the Walmart. A lot of attention gets spent on backpacks, tents, very sexy items. Sleeping bags are pretty sexy, but sleeping mats are not very sexy. Nothing makes a bigger difference to me in my backpacking experience than what I'm sleeping on top of. This whole video today is about finding the best pairing, not only the sleeping bag, but also a good mattress that's gonna go with it. This sleeping bag is the North Face Wasatch 20-degree sleeping bag. It's a synthetic fill bag. It's fine. It's something that you can find at like a Sportsman's Warehouse or a Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shop, any of those. And they're just kind of like a general outdoors person sleeping bag. It doesn't compress down very small because it's synthetic and not down, and it's just kind of okay. But at $80, it's a bargain budget, and you can get out there and you can sleep and you can have a good time. But that being said, like, there are still plenty of budget options that I would way rather other people out there go for than this, if they can spend more than $100. I'm very much an evangelist for trying to move past these closed cell foam mattresses. Now, they do have their time and place, and the good thing about them is that they don't fail. You can't pop these. They're never gonna go anywhere. They will be there with you aside from wind blowing it off the mountain. They're only about 2 on the R value, and that's just not a lot. What that is actually telling you is that it provides minimal insulation between you and the ground. If it's very cold out, a lot of that cold will just actually creep up through the ground, or actually, more scientifically, your body heat will leak through the mattress and into the ground more efficiently or more easily. This is the Climate Static V. This cost me a grand total of $40. So still very much a budget option. Now this is the uninsulated version, which means it's going to provide actually about an R value of 1, which is actually less than the closed cell foam mattress. But the difference is that it's just a lot more comfortable. Because there's no insulating value, this again isn't really an option that I would really endorse. It's fine for like summer nights or very warm experiences out camping and backpacking, but if the temperatures are gonna drop anywhere close to freezing, this is going to be unsuitable and I don't recommend it. But I do have other options for you. Now this is more expensive, but this is a $200 setup. $40 for the mattress and $160 for this Kelty Cosmic 20 down sleeping bag. Now, if you are still on the budget end and you really want to find a good option for sleeping, look no further than the Kelty Cosmic 20. I think this has actually been a bag that I really can get behind and believe in. It's very comfortable. It's pretty warm. It's got a 20-degree rating, so same as the North Face bag here. But one thing that's dramatically different is how small it packs down and how much lighter it truly is. And at 550 fill down, that's not premium, but it will definitely get the job done. And I really actually like what Kelty has done to make a perfectly good sleeping bag that at $160 is not going to price out a ton of people. This bag is probably one of my favorite options that I've found in my search and my quest lately for good budget gear. But I got more to show you, so let's move on to another tent where I have a whole nother range of setups. This is one of the better sleeping mattresses that I found that's still at a really nice budget. This is the Pariah Outdoors Recharge XL mattress. Now, what is exciting about this is that it's truly budget. It's $99, and yet it still has really nice R value. So this is 4.7 on the R value and weighs 26 ounces. This is about half the price of some of the more premium sleeping mattresses that are out there, but this functions effectively just about as well. The real downside of what you're gonna pay for by spending half the cost is really just in how small you can pack it and how light it weighs. This is at 26 ounces, about 8 or 9 ounces heavier than some of the most premium sleeping mats that are on the market. So one of my favorite pairings that I found to date for good budget gear is the Recharge XL from Pariah paired with that Kelty Cosmic 20. This is a $100 mattress, and if I pair that with this $160 Kelty Cosmic 20 degree bag, I feel like you just get a really big bang for your buck. So for $260, I feel like you can really get out there, have a great time, be totally safe, very comfortable, and have a great setup that I think is gonna put you on par with a lot of other backpackers out there spending double and even triple what you spent on that setup. But what happens if you want a sleeping bag that's just like a little bit more premium, maybe even borderline ultralight? This is the Outdoor Vitals Summit 15 degree sleeping bag. This is a $375 sleeping bag, so definitely a big step up in price, but we're still dealing with gear that's kind of in that lower half of the price point. So anything under $400, I would say, will put you in kind of the lower 50% of what you could spend on sleeping gear. One of the reasons why I like this so much is that it's a lot lighter than some of the alternatives. This is a 1 pound, 13 ounce sleeping bag. So this is very light bag. It has got premium downfill, and yet it's still at $375. Not gonna be ultra expensive. Now, I've spent a good number of nights in the sleeping bag. I did a big trek through Peru, high in the mountains, and have put a lot of nights in this, down to some very cold temperatures, and this bag was actually really good. One of the things that stood out to me about this is the center zip versus the side zip, which is the most common thing that you're gonna see. And for the most part, I liked it. I thought that center zip was kind of intuitive. They have these little flaps on the inside, and what that effectively does is give you good draft resistance, where as your hot air is inside the sleeping bag, it's harder to escape, it stays warmer, and just having these tuck around your chin, around your neck, is just very pleasant and very nice. Right around the same price point, you can get another one of my very favorite sleeping bags of all time. This is the Riff from Nemo, and this is a little bit different because it is a spoon-shaped sleeping bag. They will get mad at me if I call it a mummy sleeping bag. And a lot of the other sleeping bags that I've been using are what's considered mummy sleeping bags. They're very narrow. They often feel like you're, in a tube, and they can be restrictive. This is the Nemo Riff sleeping bag, 15 degree bag, cost me $399. Right, I would say, in that middle point of the market. For most people out there, that is a pretty expensive sleeping bag. But for a lot of backpackers, I think this is a really wonderful option for backpacking. Some of the things that I love about it is that it has just much more ample room for your shoulders, for your hips, to move as you toss and turn, if you toss and turn like I do, without sacrificing that ability to be really warm when you need it to. Another couple of cool details about this is that it has these thermo gills. And what that does is when you open these up, you actually get more ventilation, more hot air will escape out of these baffles. You can open those up, or when it's cold out, you can close them down. And what I've found is that they do really make a meaningful difference. Now, it's not like crazy dramatic, but it does make a difference. This cost me $399, so it's definitely a premium sleeping bag. It is pretty expensive, but it's still kind of right in that middle point. Like, you could still spend quite a bit more if you decide you want to. Either of these sleeping bags, that $350, $400 range, is going to meet almost everybody's needs out there. Now, the reason why I brought up the Outdoor Vitals bag is because if you are trying to really go as light as possible, this sleeping bag is just kind of a little bit heavy, a little bit bulky. At 2 pounds, 7 ounces, I feel like this sleeping bag could just be a little lighter. I'm kind of trying to pair sleeping bags with mattresses that I think are kind of interesting or unique combinations. This is a $400 sleeping bag, and it's currently paired with the Zero mattress from Flextail. Flextail is mostly famous for their air pumps, but I've come across these mattresses and found them to be a really nice mid-grade option. This is a 5.6 R value mattress, and anything over 5, I think, is actually very, very warm. You could absolutely use this in 4-season conditions. So if you are going to be putting this down on snow, on ice, in very, very cold conditions, this will keep you warm. And this one costs $140. Here's my pitch and here's my plea to you. If you have never spent a night on a really very nice sleeping mattress, it will make one of the biggest differences you could imagine in how much you enjoy camping and backpacking. And the good news is that you don't have to spend a crazy amount to do it. So this sleeping mattress that I'm sitting on is a $99 mattress. This one is a $140 mattress. And yes, that is significantly more money than a $20 closed cell foam mattress from Walmart. But the experience that you will have on it is dramatically better. If you have ever had an uncomfortable night where you maybe are like, you know, backpacking, camping just kind of isn't for me, if you upgrade this mattress, I think you'll have a vastly better time. You'll sleep much better. You'll be warmer. You'll be more comfortable. If you ever have inclement weather and you need to just hunker down in your tent for 12, 14 hours at a time, it will become easy and comfortable rather than kind of a nightmare. I need to take a minute to thank today's sponsor of this video, and that's Element. Element is the most delicious electrolyte mix that I've ever tried, and I've tried pretty much all of them that are out there on the market. You've got 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. It's essentially just what your body needs without putting your body through a bunch of crap, a bunch of filler, a bunch of sugar. If you've never tried Element before, well, I think that you would really like them, and you can go to the link below at drinkelement.com/erichanson. Element will throw in a free sample pack with any purchase, which is 8 of Element's most popular flavors. See which one is your favorite. My personal favorite, it goes between citrus salt and raspberry salt. I think they're both phenomenal, but there's a lot that I really love. Grapefruit is amazing. And if you've never tried them, I think that you will genuinely feel better. I've absolutely found that I sleep better at night. I don't have muscle aches, cramps, headaches, just kind of that general fatigue or bad feeling that happens sometimes at the end of a long, hard day of backpacking. Try these out at the link below. I think you will genuinely love them. And thanks so much to Element for sponsoring this video. This is the Zenbivy Ultralight bed, which costs a whopping $1,100. Boy, has it never been better to be considered an out-of-touch elite. Oh. This system came out about a year ago, and I've found it to be pretty much a game changer for me and for anybody who really has ever found sleep to be elusive or difficult to come by in the backcountry. Whether you're car camping, whether you're backpacking, if sleep has ever been a hard issue for you, it just never comes easily, well, the reason why I like this so much is because it truly feels like I'm in a bed at home in a way that I just don't experience in any other sleeping bag system that I've ever used. This is super, super premium, so don't get me wrong. I'm aware that it costs more money than most people could fathom spending on a sleeping bag and a sleeping mattress. So this is considered a quilt. Everything else that I've been referring to is a sleeping bag or like a mummy bag. But this is very different. And actually, there's nothing underneath me for the sleeping bag. This literally just goes over the top of me. And then at my foot box, so it's really hard to tell, but hey, you can kind of see under. Get a peek up there. But this quilt attaches to this sheet that is attached to my mattress. So it all connects together. It is kind of what feels like a bed. It just becomes one unit that is, in my opinion, stellar. But why? Like why does it cost so much? Well, I have a 10-degree rated quilt, 10 degree Fahrenheit rated quilt. So it is very lofty. And this is premium down. I think this is 900 fill power down. It is very, very expensive, very nice materials. The texture, the feeling of it is just superb. This is also the large version of it. Now, if I wanted to, I could get a smaller version and I would shave off about $100 or so from the overall price tag. But this is the large. And why I like the large and why it also costs more is that it is wider and you can tuck it around yourself more. So you can truly get in and really use this in a different way than anything else that I've ever experienced. The way that this integrates to the whole system is actually really what makes it special. These are draft guards. They don't provide any sort of insulating value, but they keep your warm air from getting out and they keep any drafts from getting in. And as many times as I've used this, I feel like I'm in a mummy bag in the sense that I don't feel drafts. My complaint with quilts has always been that they just don't feel cozy. I get drafty if I move around too much, then cold air will slide in through the outside or through the edges. And I hate that. So I've never been a big fan of quilts. This is a quilt that I truly think is like head and shoulders above anything else that I've ever used. Okay, so I have this big sheet that goes over your actual mattress, and that sheet has this big hood. And why I like this hood so much is for a couple of reasons. One, it keeps out drafts. A lot of times with quilts, you either need to wear like a bunch of clothes or beanies or balaclavas or things over your face, but this provides that insulation over your head, over your face, and you can just really just drape it over your face, as opposed to with the mummy bag where you have to cinch it up, it really closes down, and it's kind of uncomfortable to use. This is very, very comfortable to use. And then the other thing that I like about it is if you've ever been in a sleeping bag or in a mummy bag and you've got a pillow and it doesn't fit inside the hood of your sleeping bag, well, it just kind of wanders all over the tent at night. And this actually will hook in, and then effectively throughout the night, it just kind of stays put. You see how much extra material this is on the sides? So you can really like wrap this around you and get that under you. If it's a really cold night, you can kind of tuck under you. And I've used this down to 19 degrees Fahrenheit and found it to be suitably warm. Now, I think that that was about the limit that I'd really want to use it with, but I think the real thing that held it back from being better performing in cold weather was the actual mattress itself. This is the Electrolyte mattress from Zenbivy, and this retails for $200. And what makes this really special is that it is a lighter, much slimmer, much smaller version of what was coming out a year, 2 years ago. This and Nemo actually they both simultaneously really made a drastic improvement in their mattresses. This one is a 4.8 R-value mattress, and I find it to be very comfortable. These baffles that are kind of oriented this way are actually pretty unique, and I find it to be one of the most comfortable mattresses I've ever used, despite the fact that it's not nearly as thick as some of the other mattresses that are just in the tent over the way. So this quilt is $659. That sheet with the insulated hood is $179. This mattress is $199, and then the pillow is $75. Altogether, that system is over $1,100. That's a pretty penny to pay, but if you are truly going to be spending a lot of nights backpacking or car camping, and you really want to really feel like you're in a bed at home, this is absolutely the way to do it. I've had some of the best backcountry sleep, best quality sleep I've ever gotten using this system, and I think it has truly leveled up my experience. And it's hard for me to use anything else, but I get that at $1,100, it's just going to price out just about everybody that wants to, go camping. So back to the beginning, this is the cheapest that you can get. This is a closed cell foam pad from Ozark Trail, literally got it at Walmart. If you wanted a comparable alternative that's kind of more of the core backpacking, you could get like the Nemo Switchback for I think $60, or the Z-Lite from Thermarest, also in that $50 to $70 range. And I think these are good, these are fine, but genuinely I think that if you are new to backpacking, I actually would really encourage you to spend a little bit more and get something that I think will truly make you feel like you're getting great sleep at night. This is a $40 mattress from Climate, and this one's okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it doesn't have insulation. The padding itself is pretty minimal, and at $40, it's just okay, but it's not a dramatic upgrade over a closed cell mattress like this one. This is where we really get a big step up in quality. This is from Pry Outdoors, $99. It's much, much warmer. These are bottom of the barrel for insulation. This is 4.7. That's very good. That will definitely keep you warm. And I think that this is a very, very impressive mattress. $100. This might be my current, like, everybody who's looking for a good option on a budget, I think this is the one. Next one, while still being on a budget, is the FlexTail Zero mattress. And I actually think this might be maybe the most comfortable mattress out of all of them here. I think it has the most insulation, it has the most padding, it's the most comfortable. It even has like little bumpers on the side to keep you in at night. And I think it's a great mattress. It's $140, but the downside is that it's a little bit bulkier. It's not gonna be packed down as small inside your backpack. But that being said, it's probably my favorite in terms of just pure comfort. This one is the Zenbivy Ultralight mattress. And where I think this one excels is that it is very, very lightweight. It weighs 17 ounces. That's dramatically lighter than anything else that's over here. 4.8 R value, so it's very good on warmth. And unique design, very, very comfortable mattress to me. I really do like it, but a comparable mattress that I think is absolutely worth mentioning and talking about is the Nemo Tensor all-season mattress. This is a new one that also came out about the same time as the Zenbivy. This is a 5.6 R value mattress, so it is a good bit warmer than the Zenbivy, and it is 16 ounces, so it is lighter by 1 ounce than the Zenbivy. Now, where I think that this one has not been as good for me is durability. I've had some leaks, I've had to patch it, and then also at the width, I just wish it was a little bit wider. This is the narrowest version at 16 ounces. You can get a wide version for a couple ounces more. But I really do think this is a fantastic mattress. This one is $200, and if you get the wider version, you're gonna be spending like $220 for it, so it is a step up in price. If you're considering getting into backpacking or camping and you wanna stay on a budget, it absolutely can be done. There's some fantastic options. But if you want to drop some serious coin, well, you can absolutely spend pretty much as you want to, and the results are actually worth it. Like, the quality of the gear is just impeccable at the top end, but it just depends on how you want to spend your money. All right, that was in depth. I hope that was super helpful. I'd love to hear from you what your preferred setup is, which mattress, which sleeping bag most fits your needs, your budget, and what you would actually use. So hit me up in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. It is a huge boost to any creator that you enjoy. So that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.